DDL. So DDL is it's a synonym of data definition language. Uh, SQL commands. So this actually DDL commands are responsible to change the structure of a specific table. Suppose a table contains, suppose I want to create a tables. Guys, one more stuff is left here. I can go for, I forget to add some more create table. Okay, create alter drop. I'll go for this. So data definition language, if you go for data definition language, it includes the change data definition language responsible for changing the structure or creating the structure or dropping or deleting the structure of a table. Of a tables means what are the operations you want to do on the table. Okay, not data. I'm not talking about data. I'm talking about the structure of the table. What structure contains table name, table number, table columns, number of columns, number of data types. Okay, their column data types, their ranges, their I can call dropping, altering. So these are the operations that you can able to do by using data definition language. So DDL is responsible for changing the structure of a table, changing the structure of the table. So what are the what are the structures operations you can able to do? You can create a table, you can create a table, or you can alter a table, you can alter a table, can alter a table, or you can delete a table, or you can drop a table, you can drop a table. Also you can rename a table, so rename a specific column or rename a table. Okay, there are two operations, guys. Again, I stuff here, I forget here, I need to add here rename. So let me add here rename operations. Okay, so rename, fine. So one thing is keep your minds, guys. All DDLs, all DDL commands, all data definition language commands are auto committed, so commands you need not to commit manually. All DDL commands are committed automatically, committed automatically once their transaction completes. Once the transaction completes, guys, means you need not to save explicitly whether that modification has been done or not. Okay, once that transaction gets completed, once that query has fired successfully, executed successfully, you need not to apply the commit command onto the database table structure. Okay, fine. So let us see the commands now as I shown here. So let me use the same commands: create, alter, drop, and truncate. So use one by one. Rename is left. So create, then alter, then drop, then truncate, then I can go for rename. So guys, rename. So let me give the meaning of each, and we'll proceed for performing the operations or learning those commands. So what is the purpose of create, guys? So whenever you want to create a new table, you can use create. So this is responsible for create a new table, or even we can create a new database also. So first of all, before going to create a table, I will please give me the reminder to create the database. Let me show you how to create a database also. The same query, create database name, that's it. The next alter, we'll go for table alters. Suppose you want to add a new column, you want to change the column data type, you want to change the column size, then you can go for altering. You can use the alter commands. So you can use altering commands. Altering commands is used for adding new column, change the size of the column, change the size, as well as data types. Okay, fine. The next, drop. Whenever you want to drop a table, whenever you want to drop a specific table, then you can use drop. You can go for truncate. So truncate is useful for deleting the data from the table. So drop actually drops table as well as data also, data present in the table also. And truncate I can call removes or deletes, better let me call deletes the data from the table, guys. So truncate deletes the data as well as removes data from the table. So truncate does not remove the structure. Whereas drop remove the structure as well as data also. Rename. Suppose you want to rename the table. Okay, rename a table. So guys, these are the operations that I can able to do by using DDL. Data definition language. Now it's the time to proceed for performing the operations. So guys, shall you see all this? Connection is unstable. My connection is unstable. Am I audible to all? I'm audible. Okay guys, fine. So actually DDL, DMLs, DCLs, and shall you go for understanding this, or do I need to provide all the information about DML, DCL? Then we'll go for DDL. Tell me in which way would you like to go? Tell me fast, guys. First, in introduction of all. Hello. Take first take all the commands DML, DCL, TCL, DDL, DQL like this. Like this, or individually. Now should I start for the proceed for all the commands of DDL only? Individually. Okay. First, no. First, I need to. Actually, I'm planning to explain all these, what these are, what their roles, and then go for individually one by one. Okay, fine. Anyway, we'll go for now all DDLs. Okay, fine. We'll go for the definitions by one later on. So guys, first of all, before we're going to create the tables, so my intention is to create a database. As I said, thanks God, I remembered. So let's create the first database. Guys, I'm going to use a MySQL database. So MySQL is already installed. If you do Google's, you'll find a number of steps. So root is the password for my case. At the time of installation only, I have kept the password as the root. So you can give your own name also, but don't try for different types of different passwords. Go for singles for practicing sake. So guys, here I install MySQL 5.5. You can use Maria also. You can use Maria database also. So first of all, let me create a database before going to create a table. I want to create a database. Otherwise, I must have should have to create the database before going to create the tables. Otherwise, I can say, before going to create a table, the database must exist either already or new. So guys, how to create the new database, guys? So we can use the create command. To create the new database. So create database is a DDL commands, guys. So like an example. For example, I would like to go. Suppose you want to create a table. For your organization. Suppose your organization belongs to education media. Is in college. So what is the database would you like to prefer? What is the database name would you like to prefer? Suppose it's an education media. Suppose it's an educations, JJM educations. So I would like to create a database name as a JJM database. I will used to have the name like this, or you can use the project name also. So creating the database is a type of DDL commands, guys. DDL commands. So whenever you want to create a database, so I will recommend to use the same project name, okay, because that names will match to the DB name ahead of that. To create the database, you can use the command called create a database and a database name. So here is database name, and every statement ends with a semicolon. So create is a keyword, database is also a keyword, and followed by valid identifier name. Okay, and the name, suppose I want to create a database name. So create database college JJM. Okay, college, or you can call engineering college, and here I can use JJM. Okay, fine. create database. You can use uppercase, lowercase because keywords are not case sensitive. So this is the example, guys. So this way I can able to create the database. So guys, let me create the database first of all. But before going to create a database, let me show you what are the databases are present and what are the commands to show all the databases. So you can use the show keyword and you can use the name called show databases. Show databases. Okay, show databases, guys. You can see here. Show databases are useful for showing all the databases which are present in my already installed database. Guys, you will get by default information schema, MySQL, performance schema, and test. Okay, these four database you will get default, and dgframe is my own. dgframe is my own created for my last existing project all over India. Fine. So now these are the database which are already present. Now I want to create my database. So create I can call JJM COE JJM. Okay, fine. So what is the syntax? Create a database JJM. So one row affected. You can see a show databases. So you can see here JJM is added newly. JJM is added newly or not? Is it visible to all? First of all, it is visible. Visible? Fine. Database is created successfully. I want to use the database. So you can use user JJM. Use JJM. So database is changed. Okay. Database is changed now. I want to check any tables are present in this database or not. We can fire here. Show tables. So you can see here there are no tables. Database is created successfully. As I said to you, DDL commands. For DDL commands, you need not to save explicitly. DDL commands are saved automatically. So database is created. Even though if you close this console, SQL console, MySQL consoles, then also your JJM just already created JJM is already committed. So guys, you can see here show databases. So JJM is there already. JJM is there or not? Yes or no? Yes. Now I want to use JJM. Means already committed, already saved. You need not to save explicitly. Guys, better visibility. Show JJM. And if you ask for show tables, there are no tables here. My duty is to create the tables, guys. Let me add some note point on this create table. So create database, creating a database using create command, create DDL command. So let me add DDL command using DDL commands. So creating database is use the DDL commands, okay, for creating the database. Guys, this is the syntax. Otherwise, let me add here syntax. For variables, let me use some symbols. Better, let me use some symbols. What should I use? So we'll use this. Okay, better. Okay, fine, guys. You can use this symbol. So this indicates your database name. These are the keywords. Okay, guys. So this is now I created database. So this example. One more stuff, guys. One more stuff. I have created my database. There might be a chance that JJM is already exist. Suppose I want to create one more database. Suppose I am trying to create a database which is already exist. Create JJM. JJM is already exist or not? Yes. So you can say here. You can see if you try to create a same database name which is already exist, can't create a JJM. Database already exists, right? Database already exists. So you don't know whether database is already exist or not. So at that time, how can I able to fire the query? How can I able to change my query, guys? So that at that time you can go for by using if exist command. You can go for by using the command called if exist. Here if exist. if exists. So guys, if exist, or you can go for if not exist. If exist or if not exist. So I want to create a database, create a database, create a database, create a database if, so here if exist and if not exist. If not exist. Okay, if exist then don't create, if not exist then create. Are you getting what I mean to say? Are you getting, guys? If exist, don't create. If not exist, then only create. Okay, now in this case already exists the JJM database. Now I want to apply the same syntax. If create database, if not exist, if not exist, what is the database name? JJM. Are you getting? Let me try the same syntax here. So create a database, create a database if not exist, if not exist, JJM guys. So semicolon JJM. So one row affected as well as one warning. You can see here. The नसेल तो database तैयार करा. So show databases. Show databases. So you can see here JJM is there already. JJM is there. So you can use if exist and if not exist. So you can use here if exist and you can use if not exist. Which situations? So whereas a MySQL server could not have multiple databases of the same name. MySQL server does not allow to have same database name for multiple databases. So whenever if you are not only yes, hello, yes, sorry, yes, tell. One row affected in that case, it has tried to create the table. So it has tried to create the database, right? While trying to create the database, this database is already exist. This database is already exist. So it is showing that error. It is not error. You can call the result of after executing that query. That is one row affected. This database already exist. This database is already exist. So not to go for creating. Not to go for creating means that record is available. That record is already available, na? Can you see here? Yeah, so that record is already available. So that's why it is showing that one row affected. Only that row is available. Only that row is available into the database table. So to list out the list available. Mauli, आवाज नको करू please. To check out a list of databases available into or to show to the users internally, one more table is there whose name is database. So the database contains all the list of information which are already available. So now, first of all, before going on to execute this query, it is checking whether it is available or not. If it is available, then that record is available or not. So it is showing that one record is already available. So that's why it is showing that one row affected. One row affected. So now I want to create one more. If exist. Now if not exist, right? If not exist. Now let me go for. Yes. So create a database. Let me go for create a database. JJM1. JJM1. But when to create? If not exist. Okay. We are having only 10 minutes of time, guys. If exist, guys, or if not exist, you can go for in this all the fashions. Otherwise, let me go for it if exist. Okay, fine. Create database if exist. If your database already exists, why are you trying to get one more again? Are you getting my case? If your database is already exist, why are you trying to create? Right? Okay. Now you can yes. If exist already exist, then create one more. Create database if exists. Are you getting? Are you getting, guys? I think this if exist does not support to MySQL 5.5. Go for higher version. You need to go for higher versions, guys. Please skip this part. if exist, I'll check for this if exist records for inserting or updating records. So guys, let me add the note points on this. So whenever you try to use a MySQL server, whenever you have multiple databases and the database name should not conflict. So if you're not the only accessing the same MySQL servers, otherwise if you have to deal with the multiple databases, so there is a probability of attempting to create a new database with the same name, which is an already existing database. So at that time we can use if not exist. If not exist, will tell you or will let you know, or will check or as well as instruct to the MySQL server whether existing database with a similar name prior creating it is available or not. Okay, so if not exist user for the database is created only if given name does not exist, does not conflict. Okay, fine. So guys, in this way I can use if exist, if not exist, so for creating database. So guys, if not exist, let me try, and if exist here. Now let me go for, after creating database, now it's a time to go for creating a table. Create a table, guys. Create a table. What is the syntax I need to use for the data definition language? So guys, the create command is used for creating a database table. So first of all, let me write the syntax. So you can use the create keyword, create a table, then table name, create a table name, create a table name. Followed by you need to use opening and closing parenthesis. Then you can use the column name. I'm using short column name, call name. Otherwise, let me use the full column, column, column underscore name. Otherwise, column name. Then you can use the data type followed by data type, and you can go for here the size. Okay, you can go for the size also. I mentioned the size. Some data type requires size, some data type does not require size, so size is optional. So here is column name 1. We'll see here column name 1 at number of columns like this, column name 2. That is, you can add n number of columns. Every statement ends in a SQL ends with a semicolons. So this is the syntax to create the table. Syntax to create the tables. Create table. So here you can use the table name. Column name is your choice. Data type is predefined data types as we have seen in yesterday's session. Then column name 2, you can add n number of columns. So that's what I mentioned here. Dot. Okay, fine. Suppose I want to create a table. So create table whose name is student. Create table whose name is student. What are the student attribute, guys? Tell me. What are the student attribute? Suppose ID. Suppose I want to create the ID. Okay. Again, there might be a question in your mind. Sir, I want to create a table if not exist. So what is the syntax for that? Okay, I'll go for that syntax also. Wait. Fine. So here ID, I can go for integer. In MySQL, I can go for integer. If you want to mention size, you can mention, otherwise you can skip also. I want to provide the name. What is the name? For name, I can go for varchar. For the size, I want to use 25. 25 characters at max. I want to use a student email ID. So I can go for varchar, because email ID contains characters also as well as symbols also. So better you can use varchar. Somewhat size is 20 or 25, your wish. Then you can go for, I want to mention the date of birth. So guys, don't use here date. Don't use the column name as a date, because date is the data type. So here you can use here date of birth. So date of birth, you can use here date. Okay. So guys, this is one table. Guys, let me copy the syntax as it is. Copy and we go to MySQL and paste. So here you can see create table student ID int name varchar email varchar 25 and date of birth date. You can see here 0 rows affected. So let me show tables. Show tables. You can see a student. I want to see the structure of a student. So you can use this student DSC student describe student. You can see number of columns ID name email, TOB, and the data type int 11, varchar 25, and date so is null. Okay, if you can go for some other attributes like a null, not null, key, primary key later on, but wait, for time being wait. Okay, fine. So guys, here in this way you can able to create the table. In this way you can able to create the table, guys. Now I want to create the table if not exist. I want to create the table if not exist in similar fashion. So you can use here. Let me add the syntax if not exist. So where I can use not exist. Create table. Can use here if not exist. Similarly fashion. Control C. You can add here. Create table if not exist. Control C, guys. Now let me not exist, then create. Okay, fine. So it is telling that 0 row. So table already exist. If not exist, then create. If exist, then skip. If exist, then skip. So let me go for same. Describe student. Same. So if you want to check any records are present in a table or not, you can use select start from student. I will use this select query, not now. Sorry, spelling mistake. So empty sets, it's an empty set. There are no records are present. Guys. Our meeting will end within 2 minutes, guys. So now I want to create a table with all data types. So let's create a table. With all data types. Supported by MySQL. Okay. Create a dummy table, guys. So create a table with all data types. So what are the data types and their formats? So guys, you can go for applying some other attributes also. So other optional attributes also you can add here. So I forget to tell you. So here other attributes. This is simple commands. So let's use one more commands. And syntax. So here you can apply some other attributes, types, and other attributes. List of attributes you can go. What are the attributes? You can go for auto increments. Means that column value will increment one automatically from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like this. If you want to go for providing the constants, primary keys, okay, that value should not, that column does not allow any duplicates, as well as it will act as a main dependent columns for other table columns. That time I can go for primary keys. That column may allow null, may not allow null. So you can go for null or you can go for not null. So like this, these columns, these attributes you can add here. So first of all, guys, our meeting will end within a minute. So I think let me give you the syntax first of all. Create a table. Create a table. What is the table name? Anyone can you suggest a table name, guys? Create the table. Anyone can suggest table name? Suppose I can go for employee. Okay, employee or any other, guys. Employee in opening closing parenthesis. Not to worry. You can write the queries or SQL commands in multiple lines also. Okay, multiple lines also. And you can combine later on. Also. Our meeting will end within some seconds. So create table employee. So guys, I want to add the ID. Suppose employee ID, EID. Can use integer. Share the screen. It. Here. Join. Headphone. So I want to create a table, guys. So guys, create table employee ID, EID, that is employee ID. You can use ID also. Integer. Suppose I want to increase the columns. I want to increase the column automatically. So you can use the keyword auto increment, auto increment, auto increment. So there are some other attributes. I want to go for not null, not null. If you want to use null, okay. If you don't mention null also, it will also allows. So null by default. If you don't pass any values, by default, if you don't pass any values, so this will keep the column value as a null. It will keep the column value as a null, guys. So now here I already applied auto increment. Auto increments. So employee ID will increment one by one whenever you insert the record. Whenever you insert the record, guys. So now I want to go for name of that employee. So let me go for varchar. What is the size? Suppose I'm adding 20 here. Okay. Then next up, let me go for gender. What is the gender? I need a male, female, or female 6. FEM 6 characters. So I can go for varchar here. Varchar of some size. What is the size, guys? Uh, what is the size for? Uh, 6. I can go for your 6. Okay. Otherwise, there might be a need. Create table employee ID, increment name, varchar, gender. When you can go for char also. When you can go for char. Other data types, again, apart from this, I can use date of birth. I can use here date, guys. Date. Then tell me other values. Tell me other values, guys. Tell me. Just salary. Then I can go for float. So what is the salary? I want to go for total salary of 10 digits or 20 digits. Your wish, guys. Okay. Salary for fractional values. I can go for 9 digits, and last 2 digits are fractionals. Are you getting what is the meaning of this? So guys, suppose this is the salary. Last 2 digits are fractional. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. I can add one more digits. So these number of digits are allowed. If you want to go for 10, at max 10 digits, you can go for here 1, like this. So float salary. Next, tell me any others. So can go for salary float. Tell me. Working days, I can go for int again. Int. Same data types is coming. Other data types. Actually, I want to create a table which contains all data types. What are the attributes I can go? I want to go for timestamp also. I want to go for blob also. Directly you cannot insert the image, guys. One thing is keep your mind. For blob, even if I try to insert the audio video, directly you could not insert. That will go later on. How to insert the image and audio video. This does not suit. Not suit to here. So first of all, let me create this database. Then I will go with all. See? Data. There is syntax. Where is the syntax, guys? Salary float of 10,2. Line number 1. Here syntax. Auto increment. Here auto increments. Name varchar, gender varchar, date of birth. All are correct. Increment is not aligned. Why? You check here. Does it support auto increment? No, boss. Now normal is because auto increment will increase automatically, right? Auto increment will increase automatically. There can be only time being. Will alter, don't worry. Alter. First let me create a table, then I will alter. Table is created now. Create a dummy table now. Create dummy table. Table dummy. Create table dummy. Then let me add all the columns. Guys, let me go for now. Go for adding all the. Actually, for this also we can go for auto increment. For this also we can go for auto increment, but for auto increment I need the primary. I need to use auto increment. Auto increment. I'm trying to create a table 1 2 1 2. Then I need to mention primary key. Actually, primary key is not till now, so that's what I want. Primary. Yeah. Guys, let me create dummy table. I'll check later on auto primary key also not working. Employee, fine. So guys, let us see a database table which contains all the data members. Suppose I'm trying to create a suppose varchar vc. I'm using some dummy names, so I'm using here varchar. So next let me use here varchar some size. If you want to go for some size, I'm going for suppose here 20. So 20. Now let me go for now small int. You can go for small int, so tiny int or t int. Tiny int. I can use here tiny int. Use here tiny int. Tiny int is small. It does in not to give here space. Next, I want to try for somewhat textual data. Column name is textual. I want to add a text. Directly instead of copying and pasting here. So we try here itself with my SQL shell. Scroll up. Here the problem is try to do so. So here is textual column name. So tiny int t int. So tiny int textual texter. If you want to go for a column name, suppose I'm trying to use the date of birth. Use your date. Then I can use if you want to use small int, then you can use small int. Column name is small int. S int I took. Then if you want to use medium int, medium int, then in apart from integer, I come for varchar int, then text small int, medium int. Okay, one more is there, long int. Can call big int. So b int. Let me go for b int, big int. Then big int is done. We will go for creating some fractional values like salaries. You can go for float some size. I'm trying to go for 6.2. First 4 digits, then 2, more than enough. This is for float. You can create the salary float using float up some by passing parameter. If you want to use double for longer precision, double So double in the case of, I can press over here, property value, row value, property value. I can use here double of what should I use here? What is the range? I can give max 10 digits more than enough. 10 comma 3 digits. After fractional value, I want 3 digits, so I can go for date and time. Go for date and time. For date and time. For data time, what can I do? For date and time? Something like a dt. Something like a dt. Guys, please while typing, do confirm that your column name should not duplicate. Okay, so duplicate column name is allowed. Date and time. Date and time. I put next after date. Date is done for date of birth. Date and time also done. Next, I want to use a date, time, everything. Okay, fine. Like hours, milliseconds, everything. Is what timestamp. Here, timestamp. Timestamp. Date and time combines timestamp only. So you can use time. Times time 1, time 1 2, time here. I want to add time. I use time here. Then I want to go for characters. So gender you can go for char of 1 digits, m or f. I think only I took vc, varchar, tiny int, textual, date of birth, small int, medium int, big int, salary, property values, doubles, data name, then gender, char, male or female, single digits. You can use varchar also. Apart from this, so you can go for tiny text or small text. You can call small text, big text. I want to store image, so you can use image for image, not image, is data type. So photo, I can go for photograph. I can use blob. Or even you can use long blob also. Blob, medium blob, long blob. Then guys, this is more than enough. I hope all are covered. I hope all data types are covered, guys. So varchar is there, tiny int, small int, date is done, float is done, then single digit characters and photograph, semicolon. So you can see here, guys. So let me describe the table name. Describe dummy. You can see here, guys. You can see here. So all these data types. My intention is to show a column with the data types. Different data types. How can I able to process those data types? Extra date, small int, tiny int, big int, floater, date, time, char, and blob, guys. So now let us proceed for query as it is. Guys, are you clear? I hope you are clear how to use all the data types, maximum data types. Just my intention is to show data types. My intention is to show or to create a table which contain maximum number of data types. How to use them? Hello? Are you there? Okay, guys. Now I want to create a duplicate table. I want to create a duplicate table. Or I can create a one table from another table. So guys, I am having already dummy. So show tables. So dummy, employee and student. Guys. So I want to create one more table, with means I want to copy the same structure of one table into another table. If I describe the table, student. If I describe the table student, ID, name, email, I want to use the same structure into other table. Or you can call a new table with the same structure or with a new table name. How can I able to create that table? So you can use create table, new table name you need to provide. Suppose I want to create a new student. So new student. So I can use like clause, like clause. So it's from student, from student. So 0 rows affected. Let me show tables. So show tables. So you can see here new student, new student. So describe new student, describe new student. You can see here student and new students. So actually I need to scroll up, guys. Student also contains id, name, email, date of birth. Here also id, name, email, date of birth. I hope you are clear. I want to copy the one table structure into another table, or I want to create a new table from my existing table. So you can use a like clause. You can use a like clause. Also like clause works with the database data also, or table data also. So let me add here, create a new table, create a new table, create a new table, or using existing table, or you can say copy table structure, copy table structure, copy table structure. How can you copy? In this way you can able to copy, guys. Okay, fine. So guys, now this is about the table copying. Now let us proceed for dropping a table. Drop, delete, other commands. What are other commands? Let me go for now alter, or let me go for drop. So before going to alter, actually let me directly, if I go for drop is not good first approach. Let me go for first alter, because if I drop the tables, that alteration may not be possible. So first let me alter the tables, maybe for adding new column, changing the data types, changing the column size. Awaaz no karo mao. So guys, let us see now altering the tables, altering the tables. So guys, alter commands, alter is the DDL commands, everyone know. So alter command used to alter the structure of the tables, or structure of the database, you can call. So you can change the characteristics of an existing attributes, or you can call columns and their data types, and as well as their size. So guys, let me go for altering. First let me explain the syntax. So alter table, alter table. So followed by you need to use table name, followed by you need to use table name. So what is the table name? Table name is here. Then you need to use opening and closing parenthesis, or not required, not carrying. So what you want to alter? Suppose you want to add a new column, so you need to use a keyword called add is a keyword. अरे भाऊ आवाज करो नको please. Add. So you need to use a keyword called add. Then which column you want to add? So column name, new column name, then followed by column data type, followed by column data type. So like this you can add n number of columns, data types. So first let me go for example of this, adding the column. Okay, fine. Guys, this is the syntax for altering. Syntax. What shall you change? I want to add a column. I want to add the column to my student. So describe student. I want to add a new column to my student. Suppose I want to add address. So the syntax is, so alter table student, let me scroll up. Alter table student, add, what is the column name, guys? So address. Don't use add as a column name, because add is a keyword. Address, what is the data type? Varchar of, what is the size? Suppose if you are using 50, you can, yeah. So select star from, or you can use type describe student. You can see here address, existing there was no column called address, and new column is added. So like this you can add a number of columns. Use this text as is for example, part of example. Now I want to add multiple columns. Guys. So here alter table student, add. Now I want to add contacts, or you can call phone number, phone, then integer, then I want to add one more column. What is the column, guys? Gender is always there. Gender, character of, Suppose go for 3 or 4, your wish. Here gender, semicolon, gender, correct start from, not select, type, student, queries. Okay guys, in this way I can able to add the column. I want to change the data type. I want to change the data type of the specific column. So if you observe here, now here for address or for gender, you can see a char or varchar is there. Char or varchar, right? Guys, are you following me? For gender and for address, you can find, you can see here char and varchar, and whose size is 50. Whose size is 50. Or you can find the phone is integer. You can find the 4 for integer. I want to change their data type. I want to change their data type. Are you following me? If the when to change the data type, guys? If your column does not contain any value, or the value which is compatible to the existing or new data type, then only you are allowed to change the column data type. Then what will happen? Suppose take example. If you have the size for the integer, Mauli आवाज करो नको please. Sorry guys, sorry, it's a disturbance from my home. Is you have to be on something. Sorry for this. You can take an example. ID has the size of tiny int, or you can go for 2 digits ID, right? Or you can go for, you can take an example, one more example. Suppose take example, ID has 5 digits of ID. Suppose 50,435. 50,435. Now it's of type integer. And you try to convert that ID to tiny int. What will happen? Tiny int has range up to -128 to +127, right? Are you getting? So if you try to convert 50,000 to minus only 3-digit number, what will happen? Remaining values, you will get the loss of data. So while converting the data type, please take care. Whether you are not losing that column data or not. So my intention is to say, suppose example, I'm going for the example, guys. Suppose already ID has a size int of 5 digits or 6 digits. Again, you are trying to change ID to tiny int or a small digits, or you can call int of, you can go for int of 2 digits. Suppose existing column value contains 6 digits values. Somewhere 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 values are there. Somewhere 9876, all are 5 digits. Somewhere you can go for somewhat 6 digit values. When you try to convert these values, these 5 digits, 4 digits or 3 digits values to 2 digits, what will happen? Loss of data will happen or not? This value will convert to -2 plus, -2 plus, -2 plus. It will go from -128 to +127 range only. It will not try to cross that range. Are you following? 2 digits means maximum 99 plus 99. That's it. You could not go more than this. So while converting your data types, or while altering the values, or while altering the column data types, please take care. Loss of data should not happen. What is the syntax to modify? A column data type? Just you need to change the syntax. Instead of adding, you can go for alter. Modify. Alter table name, modify column name and their data type. So data type, as well as you can go for size. Column name, as well as you can go for size also if possible. Okay, fine guys. So I want to try to modify. Now you can observe here. So select star from student. Is in data exist? There is no data. It's a blank table. It's a blank table. Just table structure is available. This table structure is available. Now I want to change. I want to change ID. I want to change ID. Best. I want to change ID size. So alter table. What is the table name here? Student. So here I need to go for modify. Modify. What is the column name, guys? So I want to change the column name. ID. Suppose I want to go for tiny int. Tiny int. Okay. Then you can go for describing the table, describing student. So you can see a tiny int. Last time it was 11 digits. Last time it was 11 digits, and now it's a 4 digits. Can you see here? Can you see here, guys? I hope. So in this case, in this way, your data loss may happen. If data is exist, then loss definitely may happen. Now, if your name, if you try to change your name, while decreasing the value from large value to smaller, data loss may happen definitely. And if you are going from smaller to large, data loss have chances very less, or you can call negligible. There is no chance of data loss. Or I want to go from phone number from into varchar. So let me go for a student modify. So here phone instead of integer, I want to go for varchar, and here phone integer. It was integer already. I want to go for 20 digits number. 20 digit number. You can describe student, guys. Now last time it was integer. Now it has become varchar. I hope you are clear, guys. Mark and then for one more, I modified here earlier. Modified integer to tiny int from 11 digits to 11 digits to. Okay, guys. So this is about alter. This is about alter. Alter. You can modify the. What can I say? You can modify the column data size, data types, data types also, as well as you can add the new columns by using the alter command. So alter command used for adding new column, change the size of the column, as well as you can change the data type, also. So guys, data types, fine. Any more I can go, guys. So let me go for new commands. What is the new command, guys? Drop. Let me go for drop. So drop and truncate. Actually drops the table. Drop whole table, guys. Drops whole table, as well as it drops the data also. Whereas truncate removes the data. First, let me go for truncate. Guys. Truncate first. Let me go. I will go for drop later on. Truncate. Not truncate. Delete the rows. Or you can call data from the table. Okay. So it drops the table, as well as drop table means content also will be dropped. So first of all, let me go for third type, that is truncate. Guys. What is the command to use truncate? Can you simply truncate table, then table name. For that purpose, I need to add some records to my table. So guys, I can see some small table. A small table I can substitute or command show tables. So we're having only 10 minutes of tables dummy. Select star from or describe dummy. Oh no, dummy contains too much records, guys. Type. I'm looking for small columns. Okay, employee. or student is there, new student. Okay, new student is there, or you can go for employee also, no matter guys. You can go for new employee also, or employee also, or you can go for, let me try with new student. Means I need to, okay guys, it has only 4 columns. I can insert the data easily. Fine guys. So for insert, let me create the query and let me insert into, guys, this is the DML command, but for time being I have to show how truncate deletes the data. Okay, insert into new students. I'm inserting first ID, then name Ganesha, then email ID. Suppose I'm adding here abc at the rate something ddd.com, then comma, then date of birth. Date of birth must be in this format, guys. As yesterday we have seen the different types of data types in has been supported by the Mysql. So that supports YYY, MM, and DD. So 2020 hyphen, and that too in single quote you need to mention. That too in single quote you have to mention. And what is the month? Suppose 5. And what is the date? Suppose I'm adding here 20. So write syntax near use Ganesha ABCD. What is the syntax? I made mistake here. Insert into student values. But into student value is missing. I need not to give the column names, guys. Right? Yes, one row affected. So I will use same, guys. Simply copy and paste. That's it. So instead of Ganesha, I will go for Rajesh. Somewhat Rajesh and dummy DD. Okay, guys, that's more than enough. Semicolon added, right? Databases. Use then type, right? Student. Now I go for insert in. Guys, last time we tried to insert one value, one row, but it has not affected. If you want to see, it has not affected. Why? Because the record is not inserted. Why? Because DML commands are not auto-committed. Let me prove that. Select start from new student. Auto-committed. How come? As of my knowledge, DML commands are not auto-committed, but it has committed. Good. Come on. How come? Good. Insert into new student values. To then blah blah blah. Fine. Then date, I need to add someone. 0 to some 5. Okay, not 5. 05. Fine, guys. So let me go for commit. Fine. And now let's proceed for truncate now. So truncate deletes the records from the table. So guys, first of all, let me create one more table. Like this, so I can use the same table for drop also. So create table, stu1 like new student. I want to use the copy also as it is new student. So select start from stu1. Record is not inserted, but table is created, guys. Fine. Otherwise, fine. I can go for one more clause, insert into. Fine. Now let me go for truncate table. I want to delete all the data from this new student. So I can delete here. I can delete by using truncate command. So truncate table. So new student, new student. So 0 rows affected, and select star from select star from select star from new student. So you can see here there are no records. There are no records. Table structure is present, but table structure is present, but records are not available. So new student. Spelling mistake. New student. So you can see here ID, name, email. Table structure is available, but there are no records. There are no records. So truncate command is responsible to remove the contents or vanish the contents from the table, but it does not remove the table structure. Guys. So now let me go for drop. Where is my drop? So guys, drop. Let me apply drop on 2 columns. So what is that? So first of all, let me insert some records. Insert some dummy records before going on to. So guys, so you can see there are no records. You can see here, select star from new students. So here is empty set. Now I want to insert some dummy record. One, fine. 1 row affected. I want to insert one more record. T, somewhat DDD. Fine. So again, I want to insert some more records. Fine, guys. Next, new student. So it contains 3 records. Guys. Last time when we try to apply the truncate commands, the truncate command has removed all the data from my new student table, but it does not deleted or does not remove the table structure, or you can call table definitions. Now if I apply the drop, so where is that drop? So guys, let me go for drop. This drop. Where is my drop? So truncate. Go for drop now. So it's fourth. Let me go for drop. Now. So drop. It drops the table as well as drops the contents. So drops the table definition. As well as contents. Also. Guys, think let me name ID, copy and share. Till then, let me add the note. So for drop table name. That's it. Table name. Why it is not? Guys, I'm audible. Share. Stop sharing. Here. No problem. Network problem. I'm audible, guys. Network gone. I'm audible. Here. Network on. Drop works with the drop table name. And use your drop here. Drop here. Drop student. Drop new. Apply drop here. Why it is not? on internet. Yes, connected now. Guys, am I audible? I'm audible, guys. Hello. Because of network, it was disconnected, guys. So, guys, truncate. Just now, truncate we have seen. Truncate. When you apply truncate, it deletes the all the contents from the. It deletes all the contents from the table. So here we applied on the new student. Here we applied on the new students. Okay, fine. So let me go for drop. Let me go for drop. So it drops the table. It drops the table, guys. It drops the table as well as it removes the content from the table also. It removes the table from the it removes the contents from the table also. Anyhow, guys, definition has been removed. Means content also will also be removed. It's a common stuff. So let me apply. So drop new student. Drop new student. The problem new student. Drop table name. Directly I could not use drop. You can see the drop 0 rows affected. So let me check here new table is present or not. So I select start from new student to DEMT. So you can see here doesn't exist. Error 1145 table JJM is database name. New student does not exist, not available. It has been dropped. It has been dropped. Okay, fine, boss. Correct the syntax. So drop table, here also table. Now table structure also removed and table also dropped. And then let's wait for anyone left. Yes, rename. Now let's go for rename. Rename is rename. Fifth is rename. It's down. It's rename. Want to rename a table. Want to rename a table, guys. Go for rename table. Name a table. You can use the command called rename table. Actually, I tried rename table on the Oracle. Let me try it. Will it works for the Mysql or not? Rename table. Old table name. Old table name to old table name to new. Old table names to new table name. So this is the syntax, guys. So show tables from this from JJM. Show data. Show tables. As you can see here, employee 21 student. Let me reply. Let's change employee. So describe employee semicolon employee ID name gender date of birth. Change rename. Go with the rename employee rename table employee name table employee to old table name to new table name. I will go for stop type or show tables. So you can see here employee has been gone and here staff and select or select describe staff. So as what are the column names are presents? Employee ID, employee name, employee ID, name, gender, date of birth, and salary. Last time it was employee, and now I made employee to the staff. The employee mark. Here, this is the employee structure, staff structure. After renaming the old table name to new table name, guys. So let me use the tax. So here is all about DDL, data definition language. Again, some part is left, that is keys, primary keys, clauses, that will go specifically separately. So rename table employee to staff. Okay guys, so just let me try one stuff. Now employees exist. Avdut, are you there? Or maybe Vaibhav, are you there? Narendra? What's my question? Now my question is, employee was exist, but now it is not available. If I try to access employee, what will happen? Yes, describe employee. Look at here. Employee does not exist. Yes, Narendra was right. Narendra is right. Fine. So JJM employee does not exist because what has been taken, that entity name has been renamed, that table name has been renamed with the new table name whose name is staff. So staff is exist, whereas employees does not exist. So guys, this is all about data definition language. Now it's a time to go for data manipulation language, or DML. Now we'll see about DML. How come rename here? Rename is not a part of DML. Rename is a part of here. Name is a part of DDL. Go for now insert, update, delete. See, now we shall see about DML. What DML? Well, data manipulation language. Now, just now, till now, we have worked with the manipulation. Just now, we have worked with the data definitions, or you can call changing the structure, definition of the table, or structure of the table. Okay. Now it's a time to work with the data manipulation. Knowingly or unknowingly, we have worked with the insert. We have worked with the inserts. So again, some different flavors of the insert also we have to learn. What is the purpose of data manipulation language, or when to use data manipulation language, guys? Or what are the steps are required to perform those? So data manipulation language are responsible for changing the data which is present in your table, guys. So that maybe you are trying to add the data, that maybe you are trying to delete the data, that maybe update, maybe you are trying to merge two tables, okay, fine. So inserts, what is the purpose of insert? To insert the new record into the database table. So all you I learned, so add new records or new rows or rows to the table. What about update? Guys? Update for modifying existing record the table. So update for modifying, or you can call updating existing records, record of the table, guys, and delete